although it was kind of like a shock, because obviously I wasn't expecting LS to be released, but obviously we found out yesterday morning, right, like about a couple hours before our game. So it was a little bit shocking when I first heard about it, but I think the team has done a good job of still trying to focus on the games and focusing, especially for this weekend, because we haven't really had a time to relax. My teammates are doing a really good job of like keeping the mood pretty positive in general, and I think that's we still have a lot to work on as a team, and we're focusing on that rather than like all the social media drama.
Hey there, everybody. Parks Ousley here with Upcomer. I'm joined by Fudge, the mid laner for Cloud9. I want to talk about your mid lane performance. You are 4-2 now. You've had a few months as a mid laner. You've played all sorts of different picks. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to flame you. I think this is your first win on like a...
Yeah, non-gentle.
There we go. All right, how did it feel?
It feels pretty good, especially when Freak is permanently talking shit. So it feels pretty good to win on a non-enchanter. Although maybe he'll like say that like Orianna has a shield, so this is like an enchanter dude. But it felt really good to play like a slow game where I felt like I didn't make too many mistakes. Because I feel like a lot of games that I play, I do make like random errors where I like mispositioning, especially because control mage's positioning is like the most important thing. I feel like my positioning was a lot better in these games compared to like previous games where I wasn't playing enchanters. So I'm pretty happy with my progress. I do think though that like if I was really good at the like Orianna, for example, this game, it could have looked a lot different in terms of like laning phase. And also that my like ability to like dish out damage in team fights where I'm like spacing and positioning could have been better, and it would have made the team fights look better as well. So I think that there's still a lot to work on where like someone like Bjergsen or like Chovy Showmaker would have made that look a lot better, right? But I think that I like my progress so far.
I'm sure that Bjergsen and Chovy and Showmaker have had a little bit more practice on the Orianna.
Yeah.
But you know, congrats on your first Ori win, your first control mage win. That's really awesome. I want to talk some about team atmosphere. You know, there's an elephant in the room, but you guys seem pretty excited, pretty confident. And so I want to ask about that. How is the team feeling today? You got the win. After, you know, Blabber was doing his interview, you were all out there like cheering him on and stuff like that. So I want to see, can you share some of what it's like behind the scenes for all of you right now on Cloud9?
I would say that although it was kind of like a shock, because obviously I wasn't expecting LS to be released, but obviously we found out yesterday morning, right, like about a couple hours before our game. So it was a little bit shocking when I first heard about it, but I think the team has done a good job of still trying to focus on the games and focusing, especially for this weekend, because we haven't really had a time to relax, because it's happens right after, right? So we've done a pretty good job of just looking at the games, focusing on the games, focusing on what we have to do and what's in our control. So, and I think that my teammates are doing a really good job of like keeping the mood pretty positive in general, and I think that's we still have a lot to work on as a team, and we're focusing on that rather than like all the social media drama about LS and everything. I'm sure that C9 themselves will probably make a statement, or Jack, I assume, will make a statement about it or talk about it. So we're just focusing on what we can do and waiting for other people in C9 to basically let the public know.
Yeah, sure thing. Of course, yeah, you've got your job to do, of course. I want to ask some about meta though, like kind of with that context. You know, so much of what you especially were playing was kind of based on like this different set of ideals than like the normal, you know, the Orianna meta type of play. What is your kind of thought right now for Cloud9's progression as far as being a team that is willing to, you know, push the boundaries of what we expect from the LCS and the Pro League of Legends meta?
Well, I think with LS, we definitely would have pushed it way more, just because he's a person that very much believes in like surprising your opponents with certain picks that they're not used to playing against. I do think it's very likely that we'll play more common picks now that he's not with us, but I do think that we still, as people, like to innovate, especially me and Blabber, I would say, are very, very like willing to sort of wing it on stage. We were even talking about it, obviously, pre-game about winging certain drafts. Obviously, we didn't get down to doing it because the scenario didn't happen. But I think in general we're still going to be pretty creative with our picks, and I don't think that just because LS is gone means that we'll be only playing standard. I do think, however, he added more like spice to it, I guess.
Well, I mean, we got to see the Karthus bot lane, which so Berserker at least is willing to play like a non-AD carry. So I think there's just for the fans who are like all doom and gloom, it seems like there's still obviously a lot of life and creativity left in Cloud9.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
That's good to hear. So I think you're 4-2 now, right? I think probably tied for second-ish, something about like that.
Yep.
What is your thought on the LCS overall? We've got two teams, not naming any names, but two teams that are like way down below. But everyone else is kind of like 5-1, 4-2, 3-3. What is your thought about how things are going to shape up in the next few weeks as we ramp up towards playoffs?
Well, playing against CLG and TSM, it feels like every team can beat every team. Considering I also think that TL are beatable. I think 100 are beatable, EG are beatable, as we can see from what happened today, right? 100 in EG. So I think right now, if I had to guess, TL is probably still the best team right now. But I do think that they still make a lot of errors that other teams do as well, which get punished. So I think that it's very possible that we'll see upsets even more. And I think that the standings, although show that some teams are better than others, I think that it's still very close games. And I think that's pretty exciting to watch, honestly. I don't like watching like TL play against like CLG and shit on them. So I think it's going to be exciting to watch. Obviously, I hope that we end up a little bit more, a little bit better. So we actually like dominate the other teams. But obviously right now that's not how it is. And we just need to improve, focus on what we can improve on in scrims and what we're going to draft on stage, make sure we practice really well. And that's what we're focusing on.
Yeah, at least you're sitting at a comfortable 4-2. A little buffer there, kind of help out. Thank you so much for the interview. Last question. Do you have anything that you want to say to the Cloud9 fans who are sticking around, who are still excited to watch you all play? Anything to say to them?
I hope that C9 in general will be able to show clarity for the situation and what happened with LS, so that people can be more comfortable. I do think right now there isn't much clarity, which is why there's a lot of confusion and I guess hate on social media. But soon, I think we'll start playing a lot better. I do think that the fans that are still supporting us, even though there's all the LS drama, I appreciate them a lot. People that are still DMing me of very supportive messages, very nice. So thank you to all those fans that are still supporting us despite all the drama.
Yeah, big thanks to the support. Thank you so much for the interview. Congrats again on the win. The control mage Fudge is coming out. Everybody better watch out. He's evolving. Thank you again. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and check out the rest of the content. And we'll see you next time.